Tell me, darling, could we run away? We could hide away by the cactus desert blue. I can see it just a mile away from this crowded place. I could lay there next to you.
Hey friends, welcome back to our channel, Best Freaking Friends Forever. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. So today we're going to do another John Hughes movie, 16 Candles. So its release date was May 4th of 1984. Opening weekend, it made $4 million, which with inflation today is $10 million. And it had a budget of $6.5 million. So, and in the U.S., it grossed in the U.S. and worldwide, it grossed $24 million, which with inflation today is $61 million. So it didn't do too terrible. And it was, I liked this movie, I have to say.
Yes, I had never seen it all the way. Like, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never seen it all the way through. And yeah, I like it. I liked it. It's just another one of those like teen movies type things. You know, you got Can't Hardly Wait, Can't Buy Me Love. This one, it just goes in with all of those.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another Rat Pack movie.
Yes, because it's got some of the same characters, like Anthony Michael Hall was in a lot of his movies, and I'm trying to think and so was Molly Ringwald. And speaking of characters, we have a trivia question for you guys today.
Yes.
So if you guys would comment your answers, and then we'll talk about it at the end of the movie. So what characters had also siblings in this movie with them, or what actors acted with their siblings in this movie? Yeah, there was a lot of, this was another one that, I don't know, it was definitely a coming of age movie too, because she's turning 16, and her family has forgotten her birthday. The 16th year birthday.
Yeah.
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Well, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I was kind of upset too before I even started reading any of like the stuff behind the scenes, where I noticed the mom and dad didn't even really apologize at first for missing it and like forgetting about it. But in their defense, they did have a lot going on. They were planning for Jenny's wedding and all of that, and then they had the grandparents in, and the grandparents didn't remember either. And no one ever apologized, like, until the dad. And I thought that was really like a sweet moment between her dad and her, when he comes in and he apologizes, and then when the mom does too, but the grandparents never did. Mm-mm. And I think she had to talk with like the woman, or Carolyn Glenn, which played her mom, I guess went to John Hughes and was like about the fact that the script didn't call for her to apologize for getting her daughter's birthday, for forgetting it, despite the fact that her character was described as a good and attentive mother. So Hughes agreed, and he added that scene where Brenda tearfully apologized to Samantha, which is Molly Ringwald's character's name.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a rough day with them forgetting. Well,
and then and she did. And I would feel, I don't know, I don't think I'd be very happy either if my family forgot my birthday. Mm. I'm 33, and I don't think I'd deal well with that.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I did write down about the movie was when she was looking in the mirror and talking about how she's looked the same since 7th grade, and just how she's not kind of coming into her own. Yeah. And when I was watching it, because that's like the very, very first scene, mm-hmm. is that one. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is so relatable, because I probably looked like a 12-year-old boy until I had children. Like, I did not look like a girl at all. It was awful. I can relate to that so much, even though I think Molly Ringwald looked very feminine for mm-hmm. sure. And like, she's sitting there, but I definitely can relate to that. I was definitely not anything until I was much older.
Yeah, I still don't feel like I am.
Oh, I definitely, now I feel,
yeah.
After having kids, I definitely feel a lot more feminine, I guess. I don't know, I've kind of grown into my body, I feel like.
Well, you can definitely tell there's angst there for her about all of that, and comparing and just, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what girls do. We do kind of, Tony, while we were watching it, Tony kept saying, do girls do this or do that? Like the talk he had with her apologize on the couch, apologizing about missing the birthday. And then they go into talking about boys and that sort of thing. And Tony was like, do dads do that? And I was like, my parents never to me. Like, we didn't sit down and have like a heart-to-heart talk about a boyfriend or a girlfriend. My dad never liked the boys that I was dating. My mom kind of would sometimes talk to them. But to like sit down and talk and have a heartfelt talk like that, I never had that growing up. And that's where I will differ from my parents, is I will always have an open line of communication with my kids about who they're hanging out with and who they're involved with in any shape or form.
Oh yeah. And I think that's important. And I think that's why I think in this movie, with them not apologizing and her actually going to John Hughes and saying, hey, I think I need to do this. Like, I think you need to write this in. I think it'd look, be weird if you didn't.
Yeah. Is it just me, or did he seem too old for her?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't know if you caught this, because tell me what you think. So we'll get, like, with her starting her period, the day of the wedding, and he turns to the man beside him, and he's like, well, I guess he said something about getting married so quickly or something like that. And I was like, did they get married because they thought she was pregnant? Is that why they got married?
Oh, maybe.
Did you catch that? Because the way he said it to him, it made me think that the only reason they were really doing that was because they thought she was pregnant. And he was, I think, kind of happy that she had started in a way. I don't know. Did you catch that?
Well, now that you say that, it makes sense. So yeah, that's quite possible that was what was going on. Well, she said to Sam, kind of like, well, this is the first person I've been with that's loved me for 6 months or something like that. Or she's loved him for 6 months. And I was like, that's not how it works. Like,
and then she said 6 months in a row. And I was like,
yes. She definitely was an interesting character.
I mean, and then because she took muscle relaxers, right? For the wedding? Yeah. And her mom's like, you did it. And she
was like, it was what her mom kept saying. She had a cramp. Like when you're on your period, you only have one, you only have one cramp. That's all you have.
Well, and just the way he treated her at dinner, and what he would say. What did he say? He said she would stay at home.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
And the dad kind of looked at him, and I was like, my dad would have like. He would have been like, get up, we're leaving. Like,
I would have been that parent. I'd have been like, wow. And like the wedding scene where she's walking up the aisle and she's like has to sit and take a break and stuff. I told Tony, I said, Tony, no, that would not happen. If my kids are incapacitated and cannot say their vows, cannot stand up at the altar, my kid or the person they're marrying, there is no way I would allow that to happen. It's like when Teen Mom, when Macy's baby daddy, Ryan Edwards, did you ever watch that? Mm-mm. So he is driving to get married to that girl. I can't remember her name. And he is driving, and they have a camera in the car, and he's literally so high, he is falling asleep at the wheel. And you need to go watch that video. It is not, the fact that MTV even aired that footage on TV boggles my mind.
Well, and it was interesting because like the father was even said he didn't really worry about her.
Right. Worry about Sam.
About Samantha. Yeah, Sam. He was worried. I mean, he worried about the sister. Like he knew she would find the right one and that she would find the one that, but her sister Jenny was not the same. Like she needed someone to take care of her. And you could clearly see that she has to be looked after.
Superficial.
Yeah. And yeah, that whole, I don't know. My favorite scene in the whole movie though, is when she comes walking out of the church after going back in for the veil and seeing that they've all left and the cars are clearing out and people are moving because they're leaving and she sees him. She sees Jake.
That's cute. That is a cute part. And she's like, me?
He's like, yes, you. I like that movie.
Yeah. My favorite is with the 16 candles.
See, in that scene, I do like that scene too, where he tells her happy birthday and all of that. And I guess the cake, you probably read this, the cake that Jake and Samantha kissed over was made out of cardboard. When they tried shooting the scene with real cake, it pretty much melted over the long takes. And I kind of like the scene too in the shop, like with her and Farmer Ted.
Mm-hmm.
When they're talking after, I mean, I kind of like that heart because I feel like they're having a heart to heart too, and she kind of spills her guts to him, and he spills his guts to her, and I feel like I don't know, I kind of like that scene too.
Yeah, I like Farmer Ted. He made the movie.
He does, and I mean, obviously we know he stars in the Breakfast Club with her too, and they actually dated in between, like I think it was this one and the Breakfast Club that they dated, and they didn't like each other at first. John Hughes had to take them to a record store, and they bonded over the music that they liked. And the Rave Ups was one of the groups that they both liked, so that's why it's on her notebook at the beginning. Mm-hmm. The Rave Ups, that's one of the ones that they both liked. So he had to literally like kind of put them in a situation where they had to bond a little bit to get them kind of over that.
Yeah. Well, something else. The costume designer didn't want Molly to wear that hat and like tilted the way it was, and then it set a trend though. A lot of girls
it did.
Yeah. A lot of girls
I liked all her clothes in the movie, honestly. Like I feel like I would be one to wear everything that she wore.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if I could pull it off like her, but I would probably, I mean, I could see myself wearing those clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the bridesmaid's dress. I liked it.
It wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't awful.
I mean, that was the style back then. That was, well, and it had the big hoop skirt. I'm a sucker for hoop. Man, I was born, like, I just wish some of these old, like the poodle skirts, I wish those would come back. What else? Oh, Tony's favorite is anything with the dong.
I should have known.
Yeah. Anything with him, that is Tony's favorite. I tried to get him to come one today and talk to us. Maybe I can get him. Well,
but no, he is an iconic character too because he gets together with that one girl after the dance, and they kind of have their little, I guess, rendezvous, and then they go. I guess they went to a drive-in.
Yeah, they didn't show. They cut it out, and that's where, because you see when Molly shuts the door, there's that tray on it.
Yep. Well, I guess they caused trouble there too, obviously. Mm-hmm. I'm sure. He's a character though. And even when Jake comes to like see where Molly is the day of the wedding, he tells him she's getting married. He's like, married? He's like, married. Yeah.
But I like that. So Farmer Ted, it was really cool because he was the connection for them. He was what brought them together, and he liked Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And like wanted to be with her and was like making this huge thing out of it. But I like that he got like King Geek. He
got Caroline.
Yeah, well he got King Geek because he got Sam's panties. And then what else? Oh, he got the Rolls Royce, got to drive it with
the pictures.
With the popular girl. Well, but the picture was only just his face in the corner.
I know. I was like, man.
Little rom-com movie.
Well, just because I feel like it's different than a lot of the rom-coms too, because I feel like in most rom-coms, the jock, they're jerks at first. And I don't feel like he was ever a jerk in this, like, to her anyway. Like, he wanted to talk to her. And she's the one that blew him off. Like, when she went up to, I guess they were, yeah. And he smiled at her and he was ready to say something, or and was going to talk to her, and she walked away because she got scared.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it all started with that note that or the questionnaire that she was filling out in that class, and she ended up dropping it because her friend was supposed to pick it up and was asleep in class. So he ended up getting it.
All right, friends, that was 16 Candles. Earlier, Shelley asked what two siblings had played in this movie together, and that was John Cusack and Joan Cusack. Mm-hmm. Which I'm a big fan of Joan. I like her. There's a lot of stuff she's been in. My favorite role that she's probably been in was Addams Family. If you don't remember, she married Fester. But that's probably I just love her character in that one. She's kind of like that evil, I don't know, like she's very charming, but also really evil. She just played that part really well. Anyway, so yes, those are the two. Let us know down below. Have you watched this movie? Do you like this movie? Give us your opinions on it. And until next time, I am Tiffany. This is my BFFF Shelly. Join us next time, friends, for another great episode.